Jubilation erupting among party loyalists there at the Supreme Court, where we saw the delivering of a triple victory, reaffirming the elections of three state governors, Doyediri of Bayelsa, Usman Ododo of Kogi, and Hope Uzodinma of Imo, just today. Welcome to Beyond 100 Days, everyone. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. In a landmark ruling, we see the Apex Court today uphold the mandates of these governors, putting to rest months of uncertainty and political tensions.
We are very happy that today again, Governor Doyediri has won. You will recall that this has been a series of victories affirming his victory at the election. At the election tribunal, we won. At the Court of Appeal, we won. And today, too, at the Supreme Court, the final court, the highest court of the land, we have also won, affirming his victory at the polls. So we are very happy that the appeal filed by Silva has been dismissed, having been found by the Supreme Court to amount to a gross abuse of court process.
But in a shocking turn of events, the very fabric of our judiciary was threatened when the Social Democratic Party's governorship candidate in Kogi State, Murtala Ajaka, was attacked by some individuals right within the hallowed halls of the Supreme Court today after the election of Usman Ododo was affirmed. In a disturbing scene, Ajaka was hastily whisked away by security operatives, leaving many to wonder about the safety and sanctity of our highest court. Well, I'm joined by a senior advocate of Nigeria to discuss that very shortly. But let's tell you that earlier this morning, President Bola Tinubu swore in Justice Kudirat Kekereekun as the new Chief Justice of Nigeria. Justice Kekereekun, who's the second in line among the justices of the Supreme Court, was recommended to the president by the National Judicial Council. President Tinubu says the CJN has established a reputable and incorruptible record all through her career. He also described that as a brilliant lawyer, a trailblazer. The president urged Justice Kudirat Kekereekun to be faithful and loyal to the Constitution and defend the judiciary's independence. I'm joined by senior advocate of Nigeria, Dr. Roland Otaru, on the program. Dr. Otaru, thanks for joining us. We saw what is perhaps a desecration of the Supreme Court on the same day acting CJN Kekereekun was sworn in. What do you make of the attack on Murtala Ajaka earlier today? Well, we're going to try to connect with the senior advocate of Nigeria, but while we're doing that, let's turn to Abuja, where we also have standing by a lawyer and human rights activist from our Abuja studio. I'm going to get clarity on the name shortly. But if our guest can hear me, let me begin with you to get your reaction as to what happened today at the Apex Court. The SDP governorship candidate had a right to be there, right?
Yes, it does.
What do you make of what you saw happen today?
First of all, let me start by saying that it's a sad one for our judiciary having such situation, especially at the apex court of the land in the Supreme Court, and having an attack. Now, it goes to also tell you how bad the situation, or how much the politicians have continued to desecrate not just the justice system, but the country in general. And for some of us who hold this profession and hold the judiciary in the highest esteem, it is really sad. It's a sad day for us because it's not something that is expected to happen within the premises of the Supreme Court. Talk more of within the courts. This is really sad, and it's really unfortunate. And it's something I think both the president and the new Chief Justice of the Federation needs to swing into action, and whoever is involved in these whole attacks should be brought to book. Because we cannot encourage this. If these persons are not brought to book, I tell you, to actually boost the morale of others to try at similar thing. And it is really sad, it's really unfortunate. We cannot allow behaviors like this to go unchecked, to go unaddressed. We must address it as a nation. It's a shame and a disgrace to the judiciary. And for some of us, we are saddened by this particular event. We are saddened by this particular action. And whoever is involved, all those that participated in it, should be called to book and be brought to book.
Mr. Nwala, I apologize, I did not introduce you quite well earlier. Chetam Nwala is a lawyer and Pan-Africanist. Thank you for joining us on the show. It will no doubt serve as a fundamental precedent if this is allowed to pass. We have the faces on camera. If this can happen at the Supreme Court, how can petitioners feel safe in lower courts? But do you consider this unprecedented?
Of course, in all sense of it, it is sad. In all sense of it, it is wrong. In all sense of it, it's not something that should be encouraged at any point. That is why the president himself should take this as a responsibility to take decisive steps. And in short, whoever is investigating this particular matter should report directly to the president, because it also rubs up on his own administration. It is really sad. You know, the president has always stood in line with protecting the judiciary and also advocating for an independent judiciary. And if that be the case, if this misbehavior by politicians could happen within the premises of the Supreme Court, then the president must take action. Because we must save the judiciary from the hands of politicians. Politicians have continued to destroy the judiciary in this country. They have continued to try to compromise the judiciary in this country. And it is because these people are not put in check. It is because people who do these things, they go scot-free. They go unaddressed or unattended to, and they feel that they can walk out of it freely. So the judiciary on its own too has to also step up its game. Because it is sad, it is really unfortunate. It calls for sober reflection amongst not just Nigerians, but amongst the members of the judiciary and amongst lawyers in general.
I agree with you, no doubt.